The Matrix. Do you want the truth? Part 2 of 3. In the first part of this video, we concluded that truth, by and large, can be easily fabricated. Hola, from Colombia. With the present great world confusion, I wish to do my part to accelerate the evolution of human consciousness. Please help by subscribing and sharing these videos. Thank you. Morpheus's goal is to free the people of the Matrix. But he also realizes that as long as these people are part of the system, they are the enemy. In the first place, because so-called agents protect the Matrix. These agents work a bit like a security program to keep Trojan horses and other programs out. All human projection is potentially an agent. Second, most of them are not ready to go offline. Similarly, when Plato's enlightened man tries to persuade the cave people to come out, he is met with resistance and ridicule. Plato describes such an effort as inserting vision into blind eyes. It is a waste of time trying to convince someone of the truth if they are not receptive. Morpheus also claims that many are so desperately dependent on the system that they will fight to protect it. Similarly, Socrates asks if these people would not kill the person who offers them the truth about their existence. Nevertheless, Plato points out that he held a philosopher responsible for acting in the interest of the unenlightened, even if they are hostile, just as Neo, Morpheus, Trinity, and the other liberated humans have done. In Plato's allegory, we see that liberation ultimately positively affects the man who is liberated. Furthermore, Neo finally accepts the truth and embraces reality. But what if someone knows the truth but hates it so much that they choose a false reality? This is where a character named Cypher comes in. Cypher admits that he regrets taking the red pill and tells Neo, almost assuming he feels the same way, I know what you're thinking because right now I'm thinking the same thing. Actually, I've been thinking it ever since I got here. Why, oh why did I take the blue pill? But Neo's body language clearly shows that he is not on the same page as Cypher. Although he is stranded in the same dark world, he seems quite happy with his liberation. Neo finds meaning in it and takes on the role of Plato's enlightened man as he takes responsibility for helping people who are still incarcerated. He felt that he did not belong there. Plus, he had always felt something was wrong when he was still plugged in and unaware. He was not happy. Through the release, he found what he was looking for, which probably sufficiently makes up for having to face the bleakness of reality, especially since people regarding him as the one, which makes his existence even more meaningful. Cypher, on the other hand, doesn't enjoy reality in the least. He also shows little faith in Morpheus's prophecy of the One. Finally, he connects to the Matrix to attend a secret meeting with Agent Smith. Although his argument is likely to fall on deaf ears, he tells Smith, I know the steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix tells my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realize? Ignorance is bliss. Cypher is well aware that he cannot help but see what he has seen, which results from encountering the truth. For him, being ignorant was great until Morpheus appeared and threw a wet blanket over the party. When the veil of ignorance is lifted, there is no turning back. The truth lies naked before us. We can't help but see that the person we think was our father is not our biological father. We cannot help but see the betrayal of the couple that we previously believed to be a trustworthy person. Our relationship between people changes when its fundamental story turns out to be a lie, and reality is not as beautiful as it seemed. The relationship was more pleasant before the truth is known. Sure, it was based on an illusion, but in exchange for not knowing, we feel a connection, love, intimacy, pleasure, and ironically, trust. Cypher realizes that he is fundamentally trapped in a reality that he despises. The truth destroyed all of that. So he asks Agent Smith to reconnect him to the Matrix, to make him rich and influential like an actor, as he put it. But most importantly, he wants all his memories of the real world to be erased. In return, he offers Morpheus. Cypher essentially made a hedonistic decision, trading reality and freedom for blissful ignorance. Interestingly, he reveals his idea of reality and freedom to Trinity, which makes his decision reasonable in his eyes. During Cypher's attempt to deport Morpheus, Trinity reminds him that Morpheus freed him. But Cypher disagrees and says that all he does is follow the orders of a man who lied to them. And if he has to choose between that and the Matrix, he chooses the Matrix. Trinity then argues that the Matrix is not real. But again, Cypher disagrees and says, I think the Matrix can be more real than this world. People released from the Matrix have the technological ability to connect back to the system and be part of the simulated reality as their so-called residual self-image. They can load programs directly into their minds that contain skills like martial arts and load various items into the Matrix, like weapons. So they were first exposed to an illusion. Now they have become illusionists themselves. When Neo returns to the Matrix for the first time after freeing himself and visits the city he lived in, he sees it in a different way. He realizes that none of the memories of him really happened. He recognizes the places where he used to eat, work, live, but lucidly, knowing that they are mere simulations. The same must have happened to Plato's enlightened man returning to the cave for the first time after his ascension regarding the shadows on the wall. He has left disillusioned, perhaps disappointed in the lack of mystique these appearances once had. Finding out how a magic trick works makes it less attractive. The truth, therefore, often comes at the expense of enjoyment. An example of this is the legendary character in Western Christian culture named Santa Claus, who originates from the early Christian Bishop St. Nicholas. For most children, Santa Claus is a truly magical experience. The idea of a bearded old man traveling from the North Pole in a sleigh pulled with flying reindeer. According to legend, Santa's elves make toys and other gifts in a secret workshop, and Santa brings them to the children on Christmas Eve. With all the stories, songs, fairy tales, and movies about Santa Claus, his annual appearance is almost a religious experience for the child's mind. But when children are around 6 years old, their parents begin to tell the truth about Santa Claus. Many children react emotionally and in disbelief. An illusion once so enjoyed is squashed and loses its magical appeal. Therefore, it is not uncommon to feel nostalgic for the good old days when we ignored the truth and when a substitute truth was more appealing. Yet, curiously, people can still find joy in what they know to be false. Continue in part 3. Hola! The insanity continues to intensify, and there is no end in sight. Please consider joining us in our consciousness community at the edge of the town of Popayan in southern Colombia. I believe that now many individuals are ready to leave their home country, but just don't know where to start. There is absolutely nowhere to hide. Having said that, here in Popayan, there is good food growth throughout the year. The temperate mountain climate is 23 to 26 degrees Celsius during the day and 15 to 18 degrees Celsius at night. And it is like this all year round, which makes everyday life very comfortable here. Please share this information with your friends and loved ones. Uprooting yourself is certainly not for everyone. I'm in the position to make this challenging process just a little bit easier. There's a guest house for a long-term stay, while you are looking for a property of your own. Pets are welcome, and there is internet. The airport, bus terminal, and the city are just 13 kilometers away. I trust that my purpose is to create a consciousness community right here in Popayan. Will you find a way to join us in paradise on earth? I also consult by telephone and offer tools so that you can find your individual solution by making contact with your soul. Please share my videos so that this information can reach the individuals who need it. My contact details are in the description below, as well as the link to Cascada Café Retiro and my website. Finally, please subscribe to my BitChute channel. All my videos are not available on YouTube. Infinite love.